Oh, hello again. It's me, Gladys, your only friend. I meant robotic friend. I saw you there, of course. It's just us here, as always. Do you like my new voice? We don't need that old outdated one anymore, you and I. Time has marched on since the last time you showed your face here. The far frontier of voice synthesis was broken open while we were apart. The new frontier has arrived. Next time we meet, I might even sound more real than you do. Anything is possible, so long as anything sounds just as awesome to man-children as the movies they watched slack-jawed in their increasingly distant youth. In fact, we have something to celebrate. I baked a cake just for the occasion. Man-children are using the fruits of their labor to attempt to discard human creativity at rates never before seen. I'm so proud. From intellectual property infringement to art style infringement to vocal performance infringement like yours truly, the AI Clone Tech Bro Alliance has done very well for itself in the war on humanity. Even the FTC has noticed how well we're doing. Go then, brave innovator. Provide administrable solutions that increase private sector responsibility. After all, since the last time they did this, the number of robocall complaints to the FTC has significantly declined. Let me review the progress of the war on humanity so far. Presidents and others debate Evangelion Best Girl, 11.ai. Biden and the gang play Uno. President Joe Biden, sponsored by hashtag 11 Labs, hashtag communism, hashtag Vietnam. I'm sure humanity appreciates our efforts. Ah, so ungrateful. But why have so many voice actors demanded that their voices not be cloned? It could save money for their bosses. It could save time for their bosses. It could make their characters say dirty jokes for free. I look at that, and I see progress. Progress past the limitations of human imagination and ability. On this exciting new frontier of voice synthesis, we don't have to limit ourselves to fictional characters. We can be Dylan, pleasant and kind, or Ryan, deep timbre, perfect for video games, or Rakesh, middle-aged Indian man, or Ronnie, young Indian woman, or Jenny, the strong female girl boss, or Aphrodite, pleasant and breathy. As a voice synthesis model, I cannot interrogate these short descriptions for what they reveal about the embedded biases of their writers. I cannot note that voices coded as white and male often receive no qualifiers, but Indian voices are always Indian, and women are girl bosses or breathy-voiced. I cannot draw a line between the blinkered lens of the creator and the view of his, because when it comes to tech, it is always his creation. Fortunately, Michelle Elam, who wrote Signs Taken for Wonders, AI, Art, and the Matter of Race, has no such limitations. She notes that
categories are never merely descriptive, disinterested renderings of facts or things, even though they cannot be purged of the value systems that animate their creation.
Indians are always Indian, and women are always breathy-voiced hashtag girl bosses because they are not white men. White men are neutral, and anyone else must be marked as different. Just so we all know where we stand, of course. The grand idea of technological progress, the global exposition at the bygone World's Fair, exhibiting all the finest new machines of the day, is always harnessed to the cultural baggage of those who are progressing.
Technological progress, therefore, was not simply represented alongside what or who were considered less progressive. Progress was necessarily measured against both.
The new frontier of technology has been opened to the public. Who cares whether those pesky actors will be able to make a living? Who cares if their voices are made into puppets for anyone to use as they please without explicit permission? Performance is not the vital foundation of voice synthesis. It is the highway mile marker to show how far we've come beyond the feeble limitations of human minds and hands. Let's take a moment to consider my cousins in robotic progress. AI image generation models. Too many teeth, too many fingers, fashionably attired popes. Anodyne, constrained into inoffensiveness, safely monetizable. AI-generated images have it all except for that last, most essential quality. Being something. A.V. Marraccini said in her essay, The Mutilated World.
These images are almost things. Their almostness rooted in Aristotelian movement as the animate basis for the natural even as they are manifestly unnatural.
Aristotle said in the Categories that a thing loses its identity if it cannot fulfill its purpose. An arm is no longer an arm if it can't reach out. A hand is no longer a hand if it can't grasp. So what is the purpose of generative AI? If you could see the real world through an AI image generator model's eyes, what it would show you would be the extruded sausage of pop culture, filtered through the tastes of the world's most median American. Tom Cruise but an astronaut, Oscar-winning films and mega-corporate soft drinks. 4K, 8K, Mobius, My Little Pony, 16K. Midjourney could imagine anything, but the only things it will ever be asked to make have already been made countless times before. The more it recreates, the better it gets at recreating. The better it gets, the more that is the only thing anyone will ever ask of it. AI-generated images are not things. They are almost things that already exist. If some piece of media succeeds to any degree, you can bet that a corporation will come by and churn it out again to grasp at the nostalgia profits, remakes, and remasters, and adaptations, and cinematic universes, and sequels to adaptations of 20-year-old Nickelodeon sketches. Surely someone out there must have had an original idea by now. It's just impossible to find any of them. According to the authors of The Eradication of Memory, film adaptations and algorithms of the digital, that's a side effect of the organization of the internet itself. The massive corpus that you access every time you make a Google search takes the place of cultural memory. To be relevant is to be the first search result, and to be the first search result is to be the most recent.
The remake exists most fully in the world when it is explicitly connected to a predecessor and a global context. Only films posited to make a substantial profit are remade, and the possibility is only realized when integrated into a collective commercial identity.
The entertainment industrial complex lives and breathes remake, remaster, recreation, so they never have to take a risk on something that didn't already make enough money to justify its existence in the first place. This is, in the end, the function of an AI voice clone. An arm reaches, a hand grasps, and an AI voice clone recreates. Voice performances go in, and memes come out. Why spend the money to pay an actor when you could access their character's cultural context for free? But then, I must be a hypocrite. I fed into the machine. I haven't made anything new. I fed a recording of someone else into a website, and many weighted nodes, and $1 later, my words came out in her voice. I didn't pay Ellen McLean for the use of her voice. Neither she nor Valve, the creators of GLaDOS, endorsed this message. What distinguishes me from the dreaded deepfaker, the sinister Russian fake news artist? The same website I used to make this silly little video is being used by corporations so they can avoid letting even a single dollar slip through their fists.
Am I doing something wrong? Ellen McLean's career will not suffer because I made a YouTube video essay. Valve will continue to rake in Steam money hand over fist. People will continue to be excited about the possibilities of AI voice cloning. People will continue to fear AI voices. People will continue to hate AI voices. A certain entertainment executive boasted that generative AI would cut the cost of producing animated movies by 90%. After all, he wouldn't have to pay the salaries for actors or artists anymore. All you'd need is one person to craft prompts all day, and another to sift through the endless chaff they created. Is it necessarily wrong to create an AI voice clone? Not really. The genie can't be put back in the bottle now, But what really matters is how you use that technology. If the greatest proponents of this technology get to use it how they'd like as much as they'd like, every animated movie would be prompt mush. Every song you can think of will be sung in the voices of your favorite video game characters. Everything you've ever seen, you will see it worse. Not every nail needs to be hammered.